Welcome to today's program. Now, this is a show which is going to touch different matters, legal matters, spiritual matters. But what is important is that this show is going to be touching the human element, human beings. Now, today I want to share about the composition of a human being. You find that originally the intention of God was to create a human being who is exactly like him. When we go to the book of Genesis, God created man in his image. Man to talk with him, man to generally be like him, to commune with him. And when you go to the book of Jeremiah, the Bible says, that is in Jeremiah chapter 1, that he knew you before you are born. When you look at all of that, it causes you to wonder. You really wonder how God came about came into creating a human being. Because when the Bible says that he knew you before you were born, it literally means that you existed before you were born. That is why I want to address the human component. Now, you find that a human being is composed of three parts. A human being has a soul, he has a spirit, and he has the physical body. The physical body. But out of the three elements, I want to touch one, and that is the soul. Now you find that the soul is also composed of three elements. Element number one is your mind. The mind. And the mind is basically your thinking tongue, your thinking capacity as a human being. The power to think good is in the mind. What do you think about particular situations? What you do is based on how you think. What you think determines how you will be today, tomorrow, and in the future. You are what you are today because of how you thought at some time or some time back. So we need to be very particular when we are dealing with the mind. Further, you find that the soul is also composed of what we call emotions. And emotions mainly come from feelings. You can have an emotion of happiness, an emotion of sadness, and different behaviors. So, you can choose to be happy at any one point in time. You can choose to be sad. But I've learned how to deal with such things. Because in times when I'm supposed to be sad, I make sure that I tune my spirit into being happy, and it has worked for me. So members, you also need to know about emotions. And then you find that the soul is also composed of the third component of the soul is the will. And the will literally means your decision making, the power to decide between what is right and what is wrong. As human beings, we are given that power by God. God expects us to decide between the good and the bad. For the Bible says that he respects the desires of our hearts. If you choose to do bad, God will definitely respect that. And if you choose to do good, God will definitely respect that. So members, there is a lot I would have said about the soul, but that